Hi, I'm Dr. Bertice Berry, and I want to tell you a story. I've been telling stories for over a year. I tell stories from my life. I tell stories because I know that we are wired for narrative. I started out telling stories for six friends who were struggling through the pandemic, and now hundreds of thousands of people hear these stories, sometimes millions, depends on the story. Sometimes these stories intersect with what's going on in the news in the world, but there are always stories that come from my life. Back when I first got started getting my hair cut down close after suffering a head injury and losing my long locks, I found a barber in town, and next to that barber shop was a massage place where you could get reflexology. Because I had suffered from other falls and injuries, I thought, oh, this is great. I'll get that and then get my hair cut. So I started going there. The very first time I was there, I heard a commotion by the front door, and I said, "What's going on?" And the woman told me, "We had to put this man out. It happens all the time. They want something extra." A lot of people in this country don't realize that in other countries, massage is a part of life. It's a part of wellness, it's a part of the wellness process. And so I listened as this man was being told, "No, we don't do that. No, we don't do that." And he was being put out. After a couple of visits, the woman who did my reflexology, and I do know her name, but I'm just not saying it, she said, "Do you mind if I listen to my tape?" And I said, "No, go ahead." I couldn't imagine what kind of tape she'd be playing, but I thought maybe it's a tape from home or some music she likes or whatever. And she put on this tape, and it was actually a tape. And it was a review tape for um, the questions on the citizenship exam. And as I listened to the history of the United States that was on this test, I realized that probably 85% of the people that I know would not be able to pass that exam. When the shootings happened in Atlanta, and then the news coverage afterwards, I had to take a moment, a beat, to process the anger that I was feeling. Um, this serial killer, this murderer, said he did it because he had a sex addiction. And the sheriff who reported it said he had a bad day. My mother always said, if you'll lie, you'll steal. If you'll steal, you'll kill. So this killer, in my mother's opinion, is more than likely also a liar. And yet, we've run with his narrative. We have lumped all of these women, Asian women, into one category. We've lumped their businesses into one category. We've lumped their existence into one category just so he can be right. Now, I know that people are going to tell me you don't know what they were really doing and you don't know this, and what about sex trafficking and what about these? It's always amazing that people are concerned with the lives of someone when they need to protect the one that they like. I've seen my friends quietly endure racist attacks and disruption in their businesses because they don't want to make waves. They don't want to become a target because they've already been targeted. They're targeted if they do nothing, and they're afraid to say anything out loud because they're targeted again. And I've listened to people who I know who assume that I'm going to take their side because I'm not Asian. For this white supremacy, hatred, racism to exist for over 400 years in this country and beyond in the world, we have to see it as something bigger than that. If your first inclination is to take the side of the other because you're not that person, then you've got to see that there's something bigger at work than this. There is something that would try to divide and conquer and put you and me against them just so somebody who doesn't even care anything about any of us wins. I love all of my children, but sometimes one needs more love and attention and resources than the others. I can continue to love all of them, but I have to attend to that one. If you can't comprehend that, I don't want to hear any more excuses or explanations about somebody's bad day, addiction, how they were feeling when they shot down 8 people. I don't want to hear it from Charleston, from Atlanta, from Oklahoma, from DC. I don't want to hear it. I want us to think about the lives that were lost and the family members who lost them and the community who's in fear. And when we take care of each of our children lovingly, we will eradicate the hatred towards them. I love you.